All right, guys, welcome back. Something a little bit different today. I figured I'd do a video on this. This is a Case 580 backhoe that has been sitting here. I'm over at the other farm today. 580B. One of my neighbors, he's got 3 580 backhoes, and his son has a cat crawler, and they got a dump truck. They got a pretty good fleet of digging equipment, earth moving equipment. This here was sitting for a while. I actually went with the guy that bought it to look at it, and he didn't pay very much for it. It was sitting at like a mall or a shopping center, and because of that, it kind of got vandalized. You see the windows are smashed out of it. Some of the copper was ripped off. But he decided to buy it and use it for parts. So he asked, could he bring it over here to the other farm where I was at? And our plan for this actually was to dismantle it. I had a kind of like a salvage parts area in the back of the barn. I had a whole bunch of shelves that I had set up that I was dismantling equipment. And we were going to take this all apart and store it. So if he needed any parts for his backhoes, he'd have it. So we never got that far. I had left here before that took place. We did get some things off. You'll see the back boom is off. He took all the cylinders off. It had all the cylinders on. He had all the cylinders rebuilt. There's 2 on here yet for the swing. You see he has the pins out there. He has it basically all propped up now because they want to move it. You can see it sitting on blocks here, and the engine was good. The engine's free. The problem with this machine, as far as any type of getting it running again, if I remember right, the housing on the transmission was cracked, and I think that's what the biggest issue was. But a lot of salvageable parts on here, especially with having 3 other backhoes of the same model. He took the front weight off. It had a front counterweight. He needed that for his machine, so we got that off. I don't know, looks like there was some torching. I don't know, he's been working here. Front tires seem to be in good shape. Like I say, the engine is good. It is free. And there he's got the alternator unhooked. Some more lift cylinders there. So there's a lot of usable parts here, and like I say, he didn't pay a whole lot for it. Construction King, they had it delivered here. It had some rotted diesel fuel in. The diesel was pretty rough in here, and he asked did I want it. Well, I wasn't going to put it in anything. I think the only diesel thing I had was the combine. I think it was even on-road diesel, but it smelled pretty bad, had some algae in it, so I did tap it out and put it in my parts washer and use it there. So all the vandals and everything, I'm surprised they didn't even touch the diesel tank. It was right full just about. But so this has been sitting here for, I want to say 9-10 years, 8 years maybe, 9 years. So we couldn't really come up with a place. Here at the other farm, the road comes down, and there's a bridge, so we couldn't, the bridge is not a heavy-duty bridge, so you can't put a lot of weight on that bridge. So this was kind of the spot we decided on to unload it and just set it here. But it's been here a while, but I haven't looked at it in a while. He's been getting some parts off of it, so they do have plans to move it. They want to bring it to their place, so which it's not a big deal. It wasn't in the way here. It's that's kind of why we put it here. This spot's kind of just an area that can't be used for anything. This was a pasture at one time, but I don't know how much crawling around in it I want to do. All right, so if the tack was working when it broke, it only has 3,400 hours on this machine. So there's a bird's nest up there. I see a snake skin. Need a seat, but hey, there's all the control valves are there yet for the back. That spool valve is probably good. Your valve for your loader control is in there. That's good. You have your steering, your power steering pump should be good. Just the broken transmission. I know we priced some transmissions, but I think it was going to be a little bit expensive and a heck of a job. I have had 580s apart already at the dealership. I think I put a torque converter in a 580 already for a cemetery. Had the whole rear out of it. The cab, there's not much. If you wanted to, you could replace the glass easy enough. And kind of restore this cab. I don't think it's too far gone if you needed a cab, but as far as the rust, it's not really rusted out. So that door pin is rusted off. But yeah, this is a 580B Construction King. And like I say, the engine's good. The engine was probably worth the deal. What he paid for the machine, I'd say the engine was going to be worth it, being that it was free. You won't know until you start it up, but we were going to dismantle it. Like I said, we were going to pull this all apart, get the engine out, put it on a pallet and store it away in case he ever needed it. But it's just kind of been whatever he needs, we've been pulling off of this thing. So, and I just walked in burdock and I have it all over me now. So yeah, it's there's not a lot of there used to be a lot of old vehicles and steel on this farm. I had hauled it all the way when scrap was up to $14, so I wasn't gonna let that stuff sit. I took a 1970s Ford pickup truck that was totally rotted out, that was sitting here, 1950s Dodge Cornet car, 4-door, that was totally rotted out. I took that. There was like a liquid manure tanker here that I hauled away. So yeah, there's not much scrap left. So, but this isn't scrap. There's a lot of good parts here. Good radiator. I mean, you start looking at all the usable parts here, it's definitely worth it. So, all right, guys. Like I say, something a little bit different today. I figured I would cover this since I was over here. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. So yeah, it's still sitting here, but hey, it's not in the way, and he's been getting parts off of it.